let's just ignore that I look like this and I got pimple pouches on right now. It's been a really rough weekend. I've been so busy with work, I just did not have the energy to do makeup. Hey guys, I'm Ilana, and for those of you who have been following me, I used to make a lot of content about being single and dating commentary, and I wanted to make a video about this because this idea was actually inspired by someone who made a comment on TikTok. It was because they had to tell a person that who I had showed in a video of mine, that I put them in there, and then they had changed the topic, like, Ilana, we're waiting for your dating videos. And I said to myself, okay, you know what? I could do a video on this. Let's talk about it. So I had built somewhat of a following for my channel and just even my brand in general, where not only was I talking about like navigating life in Portland, life in San Francisco, but I also sprinkled in dating and like my opinions and commentary on being single, and I just shared my own advice from one single girl to the next single person in hopes that maybe it would help somebody else. And then I also stopped dating for a period of time because I was burnt out from that. And I even made a commentary video about like why I stopped dating too. But that didn't mean I stopped making content about like dating and being single. I just made a video on like why I hadn't been on dates in a while, basically. Well, in case you're wondering, I am still single, and I'm not really talking to any guys, and I've just been keeping it that way. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still will date if the opportunity presents itself, but I just haven't been seeking people out actively. So let's talk about what happened and what led up to this. So the last video that I ever talked about, like, making commentary on, like, being single, I believe the last video was the 10 benefits of being single, and that was back in March 2023. But during that time, I was experiencing content burnout. I was tired of running around Portland creating content, and then in April I had made the video saying I was really burnt out, I needed a whole month off, and that I probably need to figure out what I wanted to do with my channel. So then the following month I came back and I talked about what my next steps were going to be for my channel, and that I said, hey, I'm going to be a no niche creator. And I also had mentioned in that video I did want to explore more with commentary topics because I am a woman with far too many opinions. I still don't want to limit myself to commentary. I do know that lately I have made a lot of commentary videos, like a lot of them. And then I've also sprinkled in alt-fashion videos in there as well. But once I got so focused on making a lot of commentary videos, especially with what I'm seeing on social media, I accidentally pushed away the other lifestyle things that I said I wanted to talk about on this channel to the side. It wasn't intentional. I just got so wrapped up in things that have just been popping up on social media lately that that's just kind of what happened. I promise, like, I'm not gonna just always do commentary videos. There's just been so much lately that I just simply have wanted to talk about. But that's still not really answering my question. Okay, well, why did you stop the dating content? Okay, let's talk about that. I think just a lot of my dating content died down once I deleted the apps in 2021. I know I made so many videos like talking about how I was pro app, like you should use them. Now I don't want to use them anymore. I have become so fed up with them. I don't like what I see on the apps anymore. And for me, I just knew that it was not good for my mental health and my well-being. So I deleted myself, and I will say dating has not destroyed my mental health like it used to. So that's a plus. I also really haven't been seeing a lot of guys or hooking up with a lot of guys lately. And I truly realized, like, you know, I prefer to meet people out in the wild. I believe that the connections are just far more genuine and not so forced, and even a little bit more relaxing when you meet people just naturally. One thing that I hated about the dating apps is that I hated the fact of having to start over with somebody, getting to know somebody new, telling my life story, hearing their life story, only for it to just, you know, not work out. And then a few years ago, I did meet somebody from work, and I kind of had like this weird thing, relationship, whatever you want to call it. We weren't like exclusive or anything. I wouldn't even say we were like dating because we were long distance. And then when they moved to the Pacific Northwest and I waited for them to move, I wanted to see, okay, well, what could actually happen if they were finally here? And so we tried it out, you know, we saw each other a few times, and we just realized, like, you know what, we are not right for each other. So within the past 2 years, I really, like, wasn't exploring other options, even though I could have. I was still single. He probably was too. wherever he was originally before I moved to the Pacific Northwest, but at the same time, I just didn't want to put my energy into that. I like to focus on one person at a time. And I just felt like it would have been weird to make more content about being single while I was like in some sort of weird situation with this person. To me, it didn't feel right, even though knowing now that they probably wouldn't have even cared. But, you know, after that experience, I was like, okay, I need to not see guys again. I need a break from that because I was hurt from that situation. But I also chose to end it myself too, so it felt nice to have that kind of agency at the same time. Despite that it didn't work out, that person was a better connection that I've had with any man that I've met on a dating app, because I don't know, I've just realized like I have a better connection with people that I meet out on the real road. Okay, I feel like my ADHD is just getting me sidetracked here. But basically, I feel like the fact that I've taken these breaks from dating and then I was sort of seeing somebody, it didn't feel right at the time. That's kind of a little bit of the gist right there. When all this was happening, to me, I think the real thing came down to, it was just starting to feel really inauthentic to me to make the single girl videos and the dating videos, even though I was single, but I wasn't like dating that much. And I always stress the importance of being authentic on my channel. And during that weird period in my life, it just didn't feel authentic to make that kind of content. Since things have ended with that person, and also between the period of me not making dating videos, I have met a lot more people organically, and I've just simply have chosen to focus my efforts on sharing my life and opinions in other ways online. That's just simply the path that I ended up choosing. Also, anytime I travel, I love to share my travel videos, and I try to not do it in a vlog format these days. I try to, like, you know, make them fun and informative or entertaining for people so they can, you know, gain some sort of value out of it. Do I still want a relationship? Yes, absolutely. I'm still very painfully single, and I'm definitely ready for love. I've always been ready for a relationship. I just haven't found somebody who is on the same page as me, and that's been difficult. And when I do find somebody who's on the same page as me, I'm not as into them, and that's frustrating. There's just a lot of misalignments that I just constantly encounter. But love is something that I've just never given up on. Yes, there are times where I get burnt out from dating, and sometimes I have to take a break. That doesn't mean like I'm giving up on it. I don't want to force anything on myself. When I do meet that awesome person, I promise it'll be great, and if I want to go out with them, I will. But you know, when I had started beauty school and was trying to build myself up financially, dating also wasn't much of an effort for me at the time, and I just wanted to focus on other things, and that was another reason as to why I chose to not really talk about a lot of single girl stuff and dating content, because I wasn't doing it. I was so wrapped up with trying to like get through beauty school. So that was another reason. But I want to like wrap this video up because I feel like I'm just kind of going back in circles. Me being single has always been a big deal, especially here on my channel. I mean, like I said before, I have built my whole brand off on like being single and dating and navigating that realm. And I'm sure I've lost followers since I stopped posting that content, which I do understand. But let me promise you this. The day that I get a boyfriend, I promise you, I will fucking announce that shit. I cannot wait to do the I have a boyfriend announcement video. Because that is going to be not only such a big deal for me and ending my single status of nearly, what has it been, like 14 years? Oh my God. But I feel like that's going to be a big deal to a lot of y'all who have still stuck around since then. At the end of the day, I hope that kind of gives you an idea of like what happened and why I've limited posting about it. I mean, if something relating to dating and being single comes up that I feel like is worth sharing in commentary, because who knows? You never know what social media will throw at us these days. I promise I'll give my opinion about it because there's always something that I can talk about. Until then, that's basically my answer. I hope that clears things up for y'all. But I promise I won't always just be doing commentary videos. Like, I do want to get back more into some lifestyle stuff. I've just been so occupied with being a little bit accidentally chronically online lately that I've kind of forgotten, okay, we need to go back to like becoming a no niche person again. Like, we need to stick to that. So anyways, I hope that helps. That answers your questions. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!